In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to pass command line arguments using PureBasic. We're going to pass it into a program. I'm going to show you a hello world example, and we're going to use FilePro. We'll just go into this database and I'll show you the example. We're just tracking heavy equipment like a bulldozer or something like that. So only got one thing in here. If I press C, we're going to bring up our program. And it's going to pull from the database and it's going to display the hours in use, which is 23. So we can, pull this number from our database and pass it into a command line script, or you can pass it into a GUI program. And we'll show you how to do all this in the next part. So in PureBasic, the basic way to open a console or to open a command line is to just type in open console, and then anytime you open a console, you want to close it. So this is kind of similar to when you open a text file, you always want to close the text file. So in between here, you're just going to put in print hello world, and we'll just set a delay. We'll just capitalize that, and I'll set it for 5,000, which is 5 seconds. Go to the compiler and run. So if we do this, we see we got our hello world, and it should exit, and there it goes. So this is just kind of the hello world of a console program. So in the next part, I'm going to show you how to create an argument. Next, I've got a simple script up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to count the command line parameters. And if they're equal to 0, so we don't have anything, it's going to say no arguments provided. Otherwise, we're going to loop through the command line arguments and we're going to display them. So that's all we're doing in this loop right here. And we're going to, at the end, we're going to wait for user input, and they're going to hit some key on their keyboard and it will close the program. If I just run this, it should run the first if statement. And so here we go. It says 0A. So that's because I didn't clear the command in the compiler options. You can set these whenever you go to compile/run, and set this to nothing. And if I run it again, you'll see it should say no arguments provided. So this is kind of a way that you can test your command line script. You can go to compiler options, go to compile run, and you can just type in test 1, 2, 3 or something like that. So if you run this, it should show your program and loop through the arguments. So argument 0 was test, argument this next one was 1, 2, 3. And it's just a simple way that you can loop through command line arguments is using count program parameters. And you can just set up an if-else statement, loop through them, and wait for user input to close it. In the next example, I'm just passing or getting arguments from FilePro, and you can see that we're just going to display the hours in use. So all we're doing is just using the same thing. We're checking if we have anything at all. If we don't have anything, just print out to the screen, no arguments provided. Otherwise, get the arguments, loop through them, and display them. So this right here is optional if you want to do this. But if someone just pushes the enter key, we're just kind of explicitly telling it to close. So this can be optional. Then in FilePro, you're going to go to define processing. You're going to go to your database. In this case, it was heavy equipment. We're going to go to input processing, and we're going to go down here. And this is kind of the at key C processing. So if the user hits the C key, it's going to run a system command, which is basically our executable. And it's going to put the field 13 as an argument. So if I hit F6, you can see that we've got our fields. Field 13 is hours used. But this is how you attach or append a field to this command line argument right here. If I want to run this, hit escape, YY, and then in, exit out, go to inquire, update, add, go to the database, heavy equipment, go to the first record, and hit C. You can see it ran, so we're going to hit a key to exit, and I'm just going to update this. We'll change it to something like 24. I'm going to save, hit the C key again, and over here you can see it's pulling from the database. So that's just a business use case you can use in these business apps or business programs that you program with FilePro.